So not only was I on tune on the second version of Wonderwall, but I sound almost exactly like the original recording of the original song from the original.
Are you serious?
Recording of the original song from the original artist. So I know you're full of shit when you come over here and you tell me that it's not the song for me. That's probably the most perfect song for me. And I did send it to Oasis.
That was good. That was excellent. I was excellent. Yeah, I certainly did enjoy that.
These people are energy vampires, and don't let them suck you dry. Peace.
Cool. Lovely message, okay?
Because I see the results are coming in my face. Coming to my face. Coming in my face don't sound right.
Oh, darn.
And Mike Tyson likes to fiddle with my butthole.
Cecil had been recently very quiet for a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden he had an outburst, and we're going to go through a response from Master Shredder, because a lot of the attacks that Cecil launched was actually directed at Master Shredder and stuff. So we're going to go in and look at that. A link to Master Shredder's channel will be in the description below. Please go and subscribe if you can. It's absolutely free.
I just think it's funny that Cecil he's claiming he's being gang stalked, and if you don't know what it's like, then you can't say that it's not right for me to defend myself, blah, blah, blah. It's like, Cecil, nothing's even happening to you. Nobody's even watching you. Nobody's made any content on you.
I think what Cecil actually does is he makes things out worse than they are so he can claim the victim. You know, he's walking around his house with guns strapped to him. He has a load of cameras. Does he necessarily believe that there's people stalking him? I don't know. I think it is more in his head than anything else. He's sort of... He might have a fear of these things happening because of his hostilities that, you know, it's self-inflicted basically. But, you know, he's got these hostilities online. And he's imagining it in his head that things may happen in real life when, you know, nobody is parking outside his house stalking him. He doesn't need to walk around his kitchen with 2 guns strapped to him. Does he walk around his kitchen with 2 guns strapped to him 24/7? I don't think so. I think he actually puts it on for the camera and exaggerates the situation to make us look bad and to make him look more the victim. I think, you know, there's certain amounts of paranoia there, but things are not as severe as Cecil makes them out to be. But that is another way of sort of attacking his critics, haters as he calls. But, you know, when he labels us as haters, it actually isn't true, because the comments that I got in my last two videos, you know, it's largely of the opinion that, do you know, if Cecil took responsibility and tried to undo the damage that he has done, you know, people would just leave him alone. You know, there's a certain amount of empathy in the community around this channel. You know, it's not all, you know, not the comments aren't all hate. And, you know, some people have wrote very large paragraphs, and I'm very grateful for that, of, you know, their views on the whole thing. And to be honest with you, it isn't hate. It's more of a sort of, you know, it's a pity that he won't take responsibility for his actions, that he blames everybody else for his problems and stuff like that. I haven't seen any hate on my channel, to be honest with you. Do you know, I mean, like, sometimes I feel guilty for calling him stupid. I know he's had a rough upbringing and stuff. Do you know? But that's mild compared to what he calls us and stuff, which he shouldn't really do. And I don't think he actually 100% means half that stuff. I think it's his way of attacking and stuff. You know, I think if I was face to face with Cecil, he wouldn't be as brave as he's on the internet. But every time he is on the internet, he's doing more damage to himself, you know?
Other than one of his daughter's friends' older brothers coming out on him. That's it. But as far as your channel goes, Cecil, nobody's wasting any time. So it's over, man. You know? You have a dead channel.
Yeah, he talks about us being a drama community and haters and stuff. And actually, he's become that. And people are kind of fed up now because, you know, everything that he says, he repeats over and over again. There's nothing new to provide in that. And, you know, in the previous video, he lists off, you know, hobbies and stuff like that. You don't do prospecting, you don't do beats, you don't sing or whatever. But he doesn't do it either. He spends most of his time in his kitchen being frustrated with us, you know, and attacking us. You know, most of it is completely unnecessary, like. And, you know, a lot of it is self-inflicted because, you know, he lashes out with hate, and he lashes out very viciously, and then he complains when people lash back. You know, it's kind of weird that way. You know, if he didn't dish it out, he wouldn't get as much back.
You know what I'm saying, guys?
Yes.
He's constantly talking about, oh, it's illegal, it's against the law, you're breaking the law. Who the fuck are you, Cecil? You sound like the biggest pussy. You are the internet's biggest pussy.
I think what happens is he dishes out these attacks, and when people attack back, you know, there's a certain amount of fear there, which he is the problem. He causes it, and then, you know, he threatens by saying, I'm going to get the police involved, I'm working on a case and stuff. He's never worked on a case, and he can't work on a case when he's the instigator of all his problems. Isn't that right?
What's up, Krusty?
I'm good. I missed a couple of minutes of your stream at the beginning, and that's where I basically popped into the chat. Hope you're doing well. Hope the new van's doing well. I hope yourself and your family, your friends are doing well and stuff like that. Good to hear you. Your brother had contacted me a long time ago about, talking live and stuff like that. I'm able to do it now. If you want to do it at some point and have a conversation, I'm able to do it now. So we could talk at some point. I'm trying to get back into things because since Cecil attacked me the second time, I reverted into not being on camera, and a lot of the videos that were on Cecil, I wasn't even on them. And Cecil called me fat and, made fun of my appearance and shit like that. And, and it's coming from Cecil, and he doesn't necessarily, well, maybe he does mean it, but the thing is, it's coming from Cecil. He does these things to attack and that, and people shouldn't let things get to them in that kind of way. But this is my way of fighting back. Now, Cecil might say, you sit around all day talking about me and all the rest of it. We don't. I mean, I've worked on my system, I've got this going on and stuff like that. Do you think I will put in all this effort just to make streams on Cecil? I don't think so. I'm looking into doing other things. Will you stop eating my jumper, please? Thank you.
It's good to see everybody. I missed you guys. And I know you guys feel like I do, I'm sure. I mean, it's like, he's never going to do the right thing. He's been completely exposed. Now, I think people in his real life are starting to come out more and more now.
Yeah, I don't see anything going to be changing dramatically overnight with Cecil. I can't see it. There's too many things. I mean, like, if you take into account the the incidents with the children and stuff like that, back, where all this controversy started and that, I don't see a resolution to that at this point after 8 years and stuff like that. As for, the way he treats other people, the name calling and all the rest of it, some of the name calling and some of the accusations against us, say calling us cheese pizzas and making fun of people's appearances and stuff like that. I don't think he fully means it. I mean, like, if we were standing in front of him, he wouldn't say it. He wouldn't be brave enough to say it to our face. But it's just a way of attacking. He keeps saying that he comes on to defend himself, but it's like the Scientology motto: never defend, always attack. Always attack, never defend, and that's what he does. And he just fair games everybody. In the most, vile way possible and stuff like that. Now we can say, he's indoctrinated into behaving in this kind of way. But when it starts becoming a problem for other people, then there's problems. And then, when you're 42 years old and it's kind of time to start dealing with some of those things. But he doesn't seem to have any kind of responsibility when he's, in his kitchen or in his room talking on the internet. He thinks that the internet is a shield. He can say whatever he wants, and there's no consequences. Yet he's dealing with consequences by being angry and calling people names and stuff. And maybe there's a certain amount of, he possibly had a lot of physical harm in his growing up. And he feels like, he's kind of turned into the monster. So he's attacking back, but he's protecting himself because when he's talking on the internet, he's not getting physical harm back. He's getting trolls and critiques and stuff like that, and it doesn't physically harm him. It certainly rattles him though. So I don't know what that is about. It's a vicious circle. He doesn't seem to want to, or he doesn't seem to know how to break out of that circle. If you stop behaving in a certain way, the shape of what's in front of him is going to change. If he stopped attacking people, less people is going to attack him and stuff like that. But as far as taking responsibility for what happened when he was younger, with those girls and stuff, I don't know why he came, public in the first place. Well, I know why he did, but I can't see him taking responsibility for that, because maybe inside there's a certain amount of shame. Maybe he knows he knows what he did is wrong, but he doesn't want to admit that. He talks a lot about, being a man and standing up and being a man and stuff like that. And maybe he's got this attitude that if he apologizes or, is remorseful or regretful, that he's somehow less of a man or whatever. Maybe there's some hidden shame there. I don't know. But, then again, maybe it is true that he really does think that the girls instigated everything and he's not at fault. Even though he blames everybody for everything in his life that's gone wrong and stuff like that. So maybe he does believe that nothing, it wasn't him that instigated things, it was these girls. And, as we know, kids that age can't consent to anything, in a legal way or whatever. I don't know. It's the same sort of pattern of behaviour, if you know what I mean. Nothing seemed to have improved over the years. So I don't know.
He's feeling the snowball effect. But as far as his YouTube channel goes, that shit's dead. When people want to hear about C Love, they're not going to his channel. They're going to the channels reporting on him. Because his content sucks.
His content sucks because it's repetitive. It's the same. It's drama. It's the same drama over and over again. It's not different. It's not even different dramas. It's the same drama, but it's repetitive. And people get bored of that very quickly. I mean, like, he lists off a load of hobbies and says that we don't do any of these things. Not realizing that we have some of us have other channels and stuff. But he can't do other things without having these other issues not far from his mind, and they sometimes spill into what he's doing outside the drama, if you know what I mean. Do you have to make that noise right under my seat? Yes, it's great. I'm glad you enjoy it.
His content's never been worse. It's at an all-time low. I see that he almost has 2,000 subscribers now. But his content's horrible, so that's going to fizzle out. The only reason people are subbing to him is because they want to watch the show. They want to see what's going to happen next. Which is a good thing. It's a good thing. He's got more eyes on him. So the more subs he gets, the better in my eyes. Nobody's over there because they like his content. I assure you.
Well, if you want to kill a channel very quickly, all you have to do is cut engagement, and that's what he's done. You know, he's throwing doo-doo at the fan, and then he's ran away. You know, he dishes out insults, and you know, he dishes out attacks on people, dishes out hatred and stuff. But he can't take it, so he turns off comments. He heavily guards comments. He heavily inspects comments before he puts them up. But he might get 200 views in a video, and have no engagement at all. You know, it's kind of weird. You know, I have a small channel here, like. You know, there's less than 100 subscribers. I get loads of engagement. I get loads of people commenting on. He doesn't get that. And, you know, I see he's hit the 2 grand mark. He's hit 2,000 subscribers. That doesn't mean anything. Subscriber counts doesn't really mean anything. It's watch time, and it's watch time and engagement. And as well as that, I said that in a previous video, he's demonetized as well. I'm not fully sure what happened there. You know, he probably was monetized at one point. But because he's not monetized, YouTube isn't going to go out of their way and recommend videos from Cecil. You could watch videos all day on Cecil. And the YouTube system is, you watch a number of videos of Cecil, and they automatically say, well, you know, if you're watching this content, you might want to watch this video from Cecil. You don't get that with Cecil. You know, it's kind of weird. You know, lately I've been looking into Scientology protests and stuff, and I've been subscribed to a number of people. And next thing, you know, I'm getting recommended more videos. I'm getting recommended people that are part of the protest community, but I wasn't subscribed to. But that doesn't happen with Cecil. You know, and as well as that, you Google his name, his confession video has basically made him famous. And that's not a good thing for his channel either, for obvious reasons.
What does he even do? He whines and tries to get people to give him donations out of pity. He makes stupid videos about a car he supposedly doesn't have. That's it.
Well, I don't know why he's lying about the car, because I spoke to one of his neighbours and that, and the car basically is still there. For some reason, he feels the need to lie about that too. I don't know what that is about. But, yeah, his content is completely gone stale. Ow, that hurt. Stop now. When you look at his content, or when you get a notification for Cecil's video and he's standing in his kitchen, you know it's going to be more of the same thing. Stop, please. That hurt. Now calm down. It's late at night and he's gone giddy. Pups do that. They sleep half the day and then they wake up in the middle of the flipping night and start going mad. That hurt. You bit me in the same place twice. Oh. Stop now. You're making me scared now. Calm down. That hurt.
He doesn't even make paranormal content anymore.
Let's face it, the last time he made paranormal content was Bobby Mackey's Music World. And the rest of it is just basically ITC that he copies, you know, basically what Steve Hope does. He doesn't, and calling out to celebrities, because it's it's clicks and views that he's after. It's not actually proper results. He throws out around the word research to make himself feel important when he hasn't a clue what he's doing half the time.
Where do you go from here, Cecil? You know, you could have, if you would have done things the right way, people would have had a certain amount of respect for you. Like, if you simply at the very beginning would have just admitted everything, manned up, took accountability for your actions, nobody could really fuck with you after that. People would say their opinions on the situation. Hell, I would have, but it's not like you're going to be trolled after that. I mean,
yeah, he said a couple of times, you know, oh, look at my new setup, I'm going to have a podcast and that. He can't really have a podcast when he's got these underlying issues that he's not dealing with. Because he can't have people on talking to him without having to explain himself over and over again. You know, it's a non-starter. It wasn't it wasn't something that was going to take off in the first place. You know, I mean, like he could have, had a setup and get some black cloth behind him and have a screen behind him and that, and, you know, but, you know, he had a half-hearted, attempt at, guys, I'm going to be doing a podcast, I'm going to be talking about different subjects and stuff. I knew that it wasn't going to happen, because if there was subjects that he wanted to talk about, it would just revert back to the same situation over and over again. And it's not fruitful. It's just the same old stuff. Will you stop running around? She's gone daft. It's the same stuff over and over again. Why do you make flipping quick moves every time I open my mouth? Sorry about the noise, but I'm in a house. Deal with it.
at this point, you're literally just a lolcow. People are gonna milk you for laughs. They're gonna run game on you. You're forever gonna be manipulated to get laughs out of. As far as your YouTube career goes, that's all you're ever gonna be. Is somebody that people are they just want to fuck with you to make them laugh.
Yeah, I have to admit, there was a couple of weeks. What was it, a year ago, whatever? There was a couple of weeks where he had a bee in his bonnet about me. And I just kept winding him up because I thought it was funny as fuck.
That's as far as your YouTube career is going to go. And as far as your life goes, you're going to wind up in prison eventually. I really do believe that. Even your kids' friends are now like, oh yeah, there was some weird shit going on. I guess I wasn't making that up in my head. That shit really was goofy.
I mean, like, who brings on their daughter's friend onto a video to have his daughter and their friend stand up for Cecil against the allegations that were put against him and the problems he's been having online? Who the fuck does that? Do you know? It was kind of weird, and I think it was putting the daughter and it was putting the daughter's friend in a position they shouldn't have been in. It was really, really messed up.
I've watched you year after year not take any accountability, year after year, like clockwork. Bitch about being poor, bitch about not having money. But every single year when tax time comes, you blow your money on the dumbest shit. And then next year, because you haven't saved any money, you're fucking broke again. You're always broke. You never have money. You never do anything to make yourself better. You're all about instant gratification.
Yeah, there was a recent short, and I can't bring it up on this video because I'm gonna get copyrighted because there's music behind it. But it's the usual sad music, pathetic sad music, with this video and that. And he was, saying, "Oh, you're putting a man down that's already down." I sold my car, which wasn't true, but I sold my car. I only have a part-time job. I'm back taking the bus and that. And you're putting this guy, down. I'm already down. What more can you do to me in that? At that point, we didn't know anything about that stuff. And you know what I mean? We didn't know what the situation was. He comes up with these situations, you're making fun of me and my cat's sick. We didn't know your cat was sick until you flipping mentioned it or whatever. But he was there and he was going, this is what's happening in my life, and you're putting a man down because I haven't got a car anymore, and we didn't know that you weren't driving that much. Well, we had some sort of an idea. But none of us in this community really said anything. He tars everybody with the same brush. He might have had one or two comments or whatever, but he was putting out information that we didn't know at the time, as if we already knew or something. Well, none of us said anything about it.
You're stuck in the poverty mentality. That's why you won't keep a job. That's right, Order. He's a professional victim. That's all he is.
I've got no problem with people getting a bit of help now and again, if they're good content creators and they try and make an effort. But Cecil has been helped over and over again. But he doesn't do any content for them. Recently people reached out and, raised money to get Cecil's cat, some medical attention and that. And then he just reverts back to standing in his kitchen and talking crap and that. And I thought that was a bit disrespectful to the people that, helped out his cat and that. As it says in a previous video, if I was in that situation, I would be making content for them, because it is a YouTube platform and that, and, people are reaching out to you and helping you out. The least thing you can get give in return is to put out some content. But Cecil is just putting out crap at the moment. Even though he says, I'm putting out music and stuff, he's singing music, talking about Useretter. Talking about his haters and all this rubbish. His music isn't even worth fucking listening to. A couple of videos, a couple of edited, proper videos, and just for a bit of thanks. I don't think people are going to be as quick to reach out and help him personally. Although you don't know with YouTube and that. Because, in the past, he's argued with people that donated and given him loans and all that kind of stuff. And, he reaches out for help. People look at his channel and just see that he's just standing around in his kitchen, just dishing out hate. Who wants to support a person like that? Really.
And he's gonna come on YouTube, claim that me and my brother and several other of us are stalking him, but he's never gonna show any evidence.
I do find it funny that he has something like 5 cameras. And he's got a body camera now as well. And he had a carry-around camera, which he was saying that, I'm going to have this with me at all times. Because there's people following me and stuff. Never seen any evidence. No security camera footage. No camera footage on his body camera. Nothing. Yet he just keeps saying, there's people coming to my house. There's people following me in their car. All that kind of stuff. Never seen any evidence of it at all. I think it's all in his head. Or he's just making up crap just to make us look bad. Because Useretter and RV are getting the blame for all this. And I'm sure you're kind of fed up at this point, being lied about. I'd be pissed too.
Criminal allegations against people, but he's never going to show you why he thinks that. He's fucked up. He just cooks this shit up in his head. He's so paranoid that he probably really does think he's being gang-stalked. He really might. But it's funny because he's not. Nobody's fucking wasting their time following him around. And the real funny thing is, I've never even been to Kentucky, but he thinks at one point in time, he actually thought I moved to Covington. That shit's hilarious. I had him convinced one time that we had billboards.
Yeah, if you said that you were going to be in the Shell station down the street from him, you know he's going to fall for that shit. Because remember the time he was walking around the airport and stuff? It was something to do with a job. But somebody trolled him into that position, and he was walking around the airport for no flipping reason and stuff like that. The other thing is, right? He has been threatening legal action against you, against RV, and against other people for years. And the thing is, he can't bring a case to court because he spends a lot of his time standing in his kitchen, just poking the bear and stuff. The judge is going to throw that shit out like. He's the instigator. The judge isn't going to put up with that shit, like. He can make all the claims that he wants, but if he is, acting the way he does and reacting the way he does, the judge isn't going to waste their time flipping, filing some sort of a case. He doesn't have anything. It's just an idle threat. I've looked at videos from 3, 4 years ago. Oh, I'm going to sue you guys and all the rest of it. It never happened, and it can't. In recent times he done the same thing. It's not going to happen. It doesn't take a genius to see that the evidence on the videos, of him, attacking, people like yourself, people like RV, um, you know, he's accelerating the situation. He's not making any effort to resolve the situation by doing what he's doing. So that's why there is no case. There's nothing. But he is very, very easily convinced that you are in a certain place. When he done that Talk to Cecil live stream, I did think that you were actually in Kentucky, and I thought, right, if Cecil comes and meets you and RV, and there's a face-to-face conversation, maybe we can get this resolved. Because I know the way you talk, and I know the way, you're not just dishing out, you're not just goofing on him all the time. You're giving him advice. You're trying to give him advice so things can change. So I thought there might be a resolution tonight. And then it turned into a shit show, which was funny.
Yeah, guys, just because you guys see Cecil making videos right now claiming that he's being trolled and stalked, there's no reason he's saying that. He's just fucking, nothing has happened. I promise you guys, nothing has happened recently for him to be making these claims. He's just talking shit. He knows he's not getting any views any other way.
I think with Cecil looks for sympathy viewers. That's what he looks for. He looks for people to, say, oh, I'm sorry this is happening to you. So he can feel better about himself. But, I think most of this stuff is actually made up. It doesn't exist in that. And it's kind of fucking sad, to be honest with you, that a 43-year-old man is on the internet acting like this. Because when you put stuff out on the internet, and when you are somebody like Cecil, that, there's lots of people, commentating on his videos, that stuff doesn't go away, like. He can delete videos and that, but 9 times out of 10, somebody has screen recorded his latest video on that, and it just doesn't wipe. And you'd think he would learn his lesson over the years to be extra careful on the internet. There's younger children on the internet, and they're more careful than Cecil.
But I love you guys. I gotta jump off here. That's all I wanted to say.
I'll leave a link to the uninterrupted stream of Master Shredder at the end of this video, and I'll leave a link to his channel at the end of this video as well, and his link to his channel will be in the description. I'm actually going to leave it at that because I spent long enough on these last couple of videos. I want to do other things. I have another channel called Life After Life Productions and that. And not only do I do paranormal on that channel, I do other things on it, so feel free to subscribe to that if you can. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'm hoping to do new things on this channel as well, because we can't just keep talking about Cecil, because the last couple of videos were nothing burgers, really, you know. But yeah, I'm glad to be back on front of the camera. You know, it was my way of fighting what was going on, at the end of the day too, Cecil kind of has to be stopped, because, you know, he insults people and he makes fun of their appearances and stuff. And yes, it happened to me, but and it did affect me. But there's other people out there that are very vulnerable in that, and that can do serious, serious damage. And that's the one thing that really burns my biscuits, is the way that he attacks people that he doesn't know and stuff, doesn't know the situation. That's why there is safeguards in place on YouTube and on the internet. That's why there's anti-bullying policies on YouTube, which Cecil violates on a daily basis. And, if there is bullying going on, I do encourage people to, report that shit. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not good. I mean, like, I'm not the type of person that, would just report somebody just because I don't like what they have to say. I'm in favor of free speech. But when it comes to bullying and verbally insulting and making fun of people's appearances and being homophobic and being transphobic and racist and stuff, we shouldn't stand for any of that kind of stuff, But we've seen Cecil's behaviour over the years, and I don't know if people are necessarily reporting enough of when these incidents happen, but they have to be, and we can't just report videos just because it's Cecil and we don't like what he's doing or whatever. We have to do it within good reason, but some of these incidents of bullying has slipped through the net. It needs to kind of stop, but I don't know what Cecil's going to come up with next. Couple of useless shorts. I don't like shorts. It started off on TikTok, and then YouTube decides, we're going to do short form content and stuff. I'm not a fan of short form content. Now, I know Master Shredder does it. He's in his van, he's busy, he's travelling to a job and stuff. I do understand that. But I do like my long form content, and I do like, the live streams and stuff like that. So, yeah, yeah, Cecil does have these weird shorts and that, and they're not really worth me covering, to be honest with you. I'm not really that interested, and very often when it's to do with his haters, it's the same flipping crap, trying to justify, why he does what he does and stuff like that. End of the day, too, there's no case going on, because I can't see a lawyer, agreeing to take a case when Cecil is the instigator of all of it. He's the one that stirs the pot. The last couple of weeks, things were relatively quiet. Next thing, all of a sudden, he burst out with some hate videos, and he's calling us haters while he's making hate videos, calling us mentally ill and, all that kind of thing. That shit shouldn't be put up with on the internet. It really shouldn't, And yeah, I'm going to leave it for now, folks. That's enough. See you soon. Bye.
I didn't get angry. I didn't get defensive. I laughed. And this is part of my growth with this crap. You know what I mean? Y'all have a blessed day. Don't let people shit on you. Laugh it off if they do, because if you get angry, that's what they want. Just like Julie said, these people are energy vampires. And don't let them suck you dry. Peace.
So, lovely message, okay? Don't get me wrong, okay, on this, but